Boy, Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Well, hello, Star Wars fans. Well, you know, there's just 313 days until Christmas 2024. Oh boy. Oh, we're here to talk about Star Wars. Mainly today, we're going to look at the Bad Batch season 4 and season what? Season 3. Season 3, and we're going to talk about our predictions for these first 3 episodes that are coming up next week. And I have my friend Jason Ward from the MakingStarWars.net
show extravaganza podcast.
Exactly. That thing. Yeah. How you doing, Jason?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been super busy. We talked to just before the show. You've been busy. I've been busy. It's been a bit of a crazy week. And I've got work that I've been working on over here, debugging code, and great fun. But with that all being said, super busy means that my focus has not been laser tight on Star Wars.
Priorities, dude.
I know. I'm aware of things going on. And we have a good friend, Bespin Bulletin, the Bulletin of Bespins. He sent me a story right before the show.
I call him Worspin, but you could call him Bespin if you want.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Let's read my quarter.
Hey, we got Skywalker's Academy, Cassidy, Nick, Brandon, and Chris Breezy was the first in the house today. So thank you all for being here as we talk a little bit about Star Wars. In this upcoming Bad Batch season, it's upon us. The time is nigh, and we're going to be talking about that. But I want to jump into the Bespin Bulletin article because this is breaking just today. This just came out, and he was kind enough to send it to me. I have not read it. This is my initial reading of the article.
Read it to me, David Attenborough. Come on, you can do
it. It says, according to a new report from Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming, Respawn Entertainment, the developer behind Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, are developing a title that will see players take control of a Mandalorian bounty hunter character. Interesting that it's I imagine you can customize it much like you would any other. You want to make Mando change the color of the armor, change the gender, change the height, change the weapons. You'll be able to do those kind of things, whatever.
Cross rockets, all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. It says, according to the Insider Gaming report, players will embark on quests to capture bounties for cash rewards. What else would a bounty hunter do?
In a video game? What? No.
I just need to know, do I get to fly a Razor Crest, or am I stuck in an N1? And then what do I do with the bounties when I catch them? So let's see.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I don't know. It says the currently untitled first-person shooter video game will have an emphasis on mobility and style, according to tidbits from another reliable insider, Jeff Grubb.
The grub.
Yeah, Insider Gaming added that the game is very fast-paced, and the mobility that Grubb spoke of will come in the form of Mandalorian's jetpack. Oh, there will be flying. There will be flying involved, which will allow players to perform various maneuvers. That's spelled very strangely, but he lives over in an odd portion of the world where they don't know how to spell.
We watched a video today together, by the way, not to get too off track here, but it was the pizza man who wasn't tipped, and the pizza man was mad that he wasn't tipped. And he, in his stupid British brains, cannot fathom why that is a huge insult, and it's part of the social contract of purchasing a pizza. So if you want to know about why, when you order a pizza, you tip the pizza man.
You tip the pizza man.
Yeah,
you
it's not included.
And the thing is, you don't give them 25 cents.
No,
or pence, or what do they call it over there?
At least $1 a pie. At least.
Yes.
but I mean, anyways, though. So when you see words spelled like that, this is the culture. This is the world that we're dealing with, Nana. So we got to just get past it, because you just can't win with these people.
Yeah. Like, how many letters do you need to put in maneuver? Let's put 4 extra letters. That's fine.
How many ways can you eat chicken curry? Who cares? Right?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's pizza. Pizza time.
Various maneuvers, such as horizontal dashing, vertical jumping, boost sliding, and much more. The report goes on to say players will be rewarded for their stylish play. Do you get one if you spin around and then shoot?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
a good trick.
like in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
the dude, he spins around and shoots.
You're really like, I don't know where to shoot him. He's just spinning too fast.
That's bonus points. He was going for the bonus points.
Shoot! I can't target him. He's like a twister.
I could have just shot the guy, but I want the bonus points. So you got to do the.
Honestly, I was afraid he was going to spin. I was going to shoot him. It was going to deflect back at me, so I didn't take the shot.
Bonus points. It's bonus points. And health will be regenerated based on successive kills. So you're sucking the life out of others as you kill them. That's what I hear.
Oh, is this like a marriage simulator? A Star Wars marriage simulator?
No.
Cool.
No.
Oh.
As you'd expect with gaming feature a Mandalorian character, the bounty hunter will have an array of gadgets and weapons that reportedly includes items such as a grappling hook. Oh, it's starting to sound like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Grappling hook, an enemy tagging visor. Track them. Wrist rockets and many more. The game reportedly has linear levels and will not be an open world title. Neither the Insider Gaming report nor tidbits from Jeff Grubb mentioned the name of the Mandalorian bounty hunter players will control, because I've not seen a single mention of our little green friend.
Yeah.
Right. It's known it's known that if it's a game based on this hit Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian, meaning users would play as Din Djarin, or if it's a new and original character made for the game. I would expect it to be the latter. But there has been no confirmation either way. I also believe the report from Insider Gaming, as a couple of months ago, I heard from a singular person that the game would feature users playing as a bounty hunter, which is what the Insider Gaming report claims. The untitled Respawn game currently does not have a release date, and so on and so off. Give Bespin support. Support the Bespin of bulletins.
If you read his site, become a Patreon supporter of his stuff, and say, "Oh, really? Oh, you like to be tipped? Oh, maybe pizza men do too." You could say that. Maybe.
Oh! Shots fired. Shots fired.
I mean, it's not part of my culture. Well,
Yeah, it's not part of the internet culture to quote your sources either. So there
we go. We be better, Bespin. Be better. All right.
Yeah.
I'm like one of those Twitter people. Just be better. Just do better.
That's. You can tell you live in California. You do that very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to Whole Foods to buy $9 orange juice. I'll be right back.
Right, right. All right, so we're going to spend the bulk of our time talking about the Bad Batch coming up next week. We just get 3 episodes right off the bat. We already have the run times on them in that 30-minute range, as you would expect. They're in the 25-minute range, actually, closer to 23, 25, 27, 24, 28.
On that
kind of thing.
format, traditionally that format would have been 22 minutes to be on terrestrial television. Is that what you call it? Terrestrial? I'm not sure. Whatever. On normal TV. And so when you actually get down to it, I saw people kind of going like, "Oh, that was too short." It's like, well, you know, in another time, if this was the Cartoon Network era of Clone Wars, you'd only have 22 minutes. So these are actually like the special edition equivalent of the 22-minute one. So I would be pretty happy with that if I were, you know.
The other conspiracy side of that, which just makes business sense, is that perhaps one day these things will air on like ABC with full ads, or it'll be on your Disney Plus with ads.
Well, and they would be shorter. They would be shorter if that happened, because they would have to be cut down to 22 minutes. So if that was to happen, you would be getting the special edition, the extended cut. There you go. I mean, don't be wrong. I mean, I know some people are like, "Oh, it'd be cool if it's 45 minutes," but they've never done 45-minute cartoons. That's a crazy notion.
I mean, no, the only time you ever saw anything like that is the 1-hour specials, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're 47 minutes, I think. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Right.
And it just means that these first 3 episodes combined, if you just go 20, say 22 each, without the lead in and the lead out, right? So we'll say 22. It's actually more than that, but you get like 66 minutes of content.
Yeah,
a bit over an hour of content right off the bat in week 1, and so far the reviews from the early screener folks have been quite positive. It seems really, really good. So,
well, okay. So check this out. I know somebody who has them, them all, and I know that person because they told me they gave they kissed the ring.
Well, of course
they have to.
Of course.
So once again, it doesn't matter what they said. Doesn't matter if they said it was good. Doesn't matter if they said it was bad. You got to see it for yourself and come up with your own conclusion about whether it worked for you or not. But when it comes to that stuff, a lot of those outlets, the people who are there don't want to actually review animation. They only care about live action kind of stuff or higher profile stuff, but they're doing it so that way they get the next high profile thing. You see how it works. It's kind of silly, but it's how it is. So yeah. So when somebody is and from talking to people who've seen it, it's as good as it's always been. So if you love it, you're not going to be disappointed. If you don't love it, don't expect it to be anything other than what it's always been.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
It's to its credit, it's consistent.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's very encouraging. And, I have no issues with that in any way. And, people get screeners for a reason, and people don't get screeners for a reason. I will never get a screener because I have a friend. I've got more than one friend, but I've got friends who are involved in the leaking business.
A posse.
Hey, Mumbo Jimbo, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, ho, ho, ho. Hello there, Santa, Jason, and all. Wanted to stop by. Can't stay long. Love you guys. Looking forward to to Bad Batch season 3. Predictions for Mando or no now. Predictions for season 4. Prediction. Season 4 Mando or no? What do you have any idea?
So I was on my last show. I think it was the last show I did with Bespin Bulletin. We were like having a casual conversation about what it sounds like, and we're like, we're hearing about things being set up for other things, but nothing concretely about the series. And we're like, sounds like it's moving towards the movies a lot more than the films. That's kind of just all we basically said on the show, and because we honestly don't 100% concretely know. And then those like Twitter accounts started going like, Making Star Wars says season 4 is not happening, and I'm like, no, I honestly do not know. But if I was to like play the bingo, or if I was to just be a betting man on where the pendulum is swinging, I would say it does feel like it's not very likely to happen. And one theory that I proposed on my show was I had heard that there was talk of a shorter season for season 4, like doing it 6 instead of 8, with the other stuff culminating in the film's concept being then that being expanded. And I'm like, well, what if you did shorten the season down to 6 episodes, and then Carl Weathers passed and he was in 2, and it was significant. Navarro was a big part of it. That would obviously delay things, and might be why we don't have an answer now, because I don't think they could just be like, oh, now his name is Jeff Barga. Yeah, Jeff Barga. You guys just like do a, you know what I mean? And then like it's the same show. If a central player who's been in the show for 3 seasons is now deceased and not in it anymore, and you're going back to the location he ran, it would need to be addressed. You couldn't just be like, you know what I mean? They'd have to do something to show that things have changed. So, but that's speculation on my part. That's just like, oh, well, how is that going to affect it? It's a question I'm asking. And like one of the things that people always say is like, I want to get leaks, I want to do this. And I'm just like, well, I just ask questions, and then sometimes I'll get the answers. And like, that's all you can really do. Is like a lot of people who want to do it, they fake that they have answers. I'm hearing that this is going on. And it's just like, then nobody wants to give you the answer. So I just ask, hey, is that messing with the show? If you know, tell me. I want to know.
There are lots of folks who have kind of gotten burnt over and over again for fan mathing speculation and releasing it as leaks.
Yes.
And you can take that any way you want, right? There's speculation, there's fan mathing from people who are happy, people who are unhappy, people who are saying, things are going to get retconned or not, or this is changing, that's changing, this is happening, that's happening. And when all of it just comes from fan mathing it and coming up with your own speculation, theories, wants, desires, hopes, and then releasing it as, I'm hearing, as you just said, I'm hearing all that. Yeah. And you're hearing it from where? From your own noggin, right? You're hearing it from the friends you hang out with, or you're hearing it from somebody with knowledge from Lucasfilm. Right. That's big difference. So,
in context.
Yeah. So, at this point, there's no clarity whatsoever around the season 4 of Mandalorian. Yeah. If there's going to be a 3 episode, 4 episode, 6 episode, or 0 episode of season 4, we don't know. We just don't know. Says here's another question. Anything on Krennic in Andor season 2? We did see where the actor said, I don't know anything. I'm not in it. Not that I know of. And we've heard this story before from actors, right? I've never been painted blue. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, nobody's talked to me about.
Oh, I know that one was annoying because that one was like right at me. I'm like, I saw him, and then he's like, I'm not in it. I'm just like, yeah, you are though. You are though. But I will say on Krennic, I would bet against it right now.
That's sad.
If you're just asking like where I'm at on that one, I would bet against it. And I think that it, like, you could put him in it very easily, but also when you look at it from the other perspective, Krennic's not in there like I'm the head honcho. He's fighting. He's just fighting to stay above water in that film. So, if he's in that, if he's promoted and he's in that position too early, I can't remember how Catalyst treated him, but I think even in Catalyst, he's not exactly where he's at when we get him in Rogue One. I think he's a bit up higher by that point. It's about he's ladder climbing the whole time. So you could go either way with Krennic and be fine. You could not have him, or you could have him in there. But
I would love to see him in there.
I love Mendelsohn. He's great. So any more Mendelsohn isn't a bad thing, especially on a show written like that one.
Yeah, I'm just not believing when an actor says no, because we have seen plenty of cases. I've never been painted blue in my life. That's weird.
True.
Look pretty blue to me. But Kashu, thank you for the 28 Canadian.
Nice.
Thank you for that. That's a very generous, kind offer. Thank you. It says, hey guys, looking forward to the Bad Batch. I just judge each Disney Star Wars show after completing a season. I don't feel the preseason hype anymore. Have a great weekend. Well, thank you, sir. Have a great weekend yourself. We appreciate the super chat. It's a very generous. I think that's a great way to look at it. Go in with expectations level, whichever form that takes for you, and let it play out. Judge it based on its own merit. There's another point that I brought up. I've started to see more of it is direct to consumer, made for TV shows are different than theatrical release movies. They just are. And I think we've talked about it, the quality levels in the filmmaking, the editing, the special effects, the stories is up and down across Disney Plus series. Mm-hmm. They're not equal. Not all series are made the same. Some are nearly theatrical, or you could even argue could have been theatrical. Others not even close.
I rewatched. Sorry.
If you go in with the expectation of I'm watching a direct to TV, I'm watching a direct to consumer product, but not I'm going in to see Star Wars: The Phantom Menace in theaters, just
in home theaters.
yeah. It makes a big difference, right? So go ahead. Sorry.
No. I rewatched Kenobi. I was playing this game called Power World, which I call Pokemon with guns. It's pretty fun, but I put on Kenobi on my laptop while I was playing it, and I was like, as I was watching it, I was like, all of the shine has worn off of Kenobi. Like it exists now. I have it. I'm not yearning for it to be a thing. And I'm not, I don't care what anybody says about it one way or the other at this point. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just watch it for what it is. And I'm like, look at it, I'm like, this is very much a television show. And when it is looked at as so, it's fine. Yeah. But when you look at it like it's supposed to be The Phantom Menace Part 5, it's not. It's just not. Right. The quality of the cinematography and stuff just isn't there for it. And that's what I think the fandom has tripped itself up with in the last couple of years is as the lines were blurred, as no theatrical Star Wars films came out, we started to treat television as if it must be the equivalent of some of the greatest films ever made. And you are setting yourself up for failure in that way. And I believe moving forward, that division is going to be more obvious to people that this is a Disney Plus television show and this is something I paid $20 to go see in the theater. I think it's going to be more obvious.
Well, Jason, you're just saying we should lower expectations as Star Wars fans because Star Wars isn't what it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Neither is life, love, affection, anything.
It's just the truth of it. Go back to, and I've brought this up before, go back to the original made-for-TV movies. And look at those.
Yeah.
And then look at the made for TV stuff now. I will say that the quality has gone up remarkably. Look at the original Star Wars animated cartoon series and look at the recent Star Wars animated cartoon series.
The sophistication is night and day.
Take Resistance, the least liked of the current era animated series, and go back, look at Droids and Ewoks. It is still light years better than those series. So I'm not saying lower your expectations, Star Wars fans. We're saying
be critical.
Your expectations then set them appropriately.
Yeah.
Understand that direct to consumer TV shows are not theatrical. And this is the other thing that I think Lucasfilm, Disney are coming to terms with is you can't have a budget for a theatrical movie for a TV series and then release a TV series, right? You've got to get those budgets in line for what they are. If you're going to have a $300 million budget Disney Plus series. Well, look what a $300 million budget movie looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about that. All right,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the Bad Batch.
Okay.
Season 3. Next week, we get 3 episodes. And here on the channel, we like to do a fun game. Can you beat Santa in predictions? And we would do Can you beat making Star Wars, but everybody would win. So we do.
Well, I actually know everything that goes on in the show, so I can just tell you.
But you get it wrong anyway. This is what kills me.
Probably.
This is what kills me.
No, because your questions are so. They're from the mind of a madman. The questions. They'll be like, oh, Wrecker uses a blaster behind his back. You can't feed him after midnight, and it's Tuesday. How many words does she say in the scene? And you're just like 17? I don't know.
Right. That's exactly right, and it's on purpose. It's on purpose so that nobody can game it unless you are actually sitting with the questions, watching the show, and then taking notes, answer the questions. Because even if you've seen the show, you've read the script, you read the questions, you're like, I don't know what. Exactly. Hey, Matt Risman. Risman.
Hey, Aria.
Aria, good to see you. Acolyte was done like a movie, filmed on so many different locations, countries. Yes, and that's the point. Is I think the folks at Lucasfilm, the folks at Disney, are saying these streaming shows should be more in line budget wise.
That's a fear I have.
Yeah,
with Acolyte is that my fear is that Acolyte season 1 looks phenomenal, and then Acolyte season 2 gets the Kenobi treatment or something. You know what I mean? In terms of the time and budget or whatever. So
yeah,
we'll see.
So, yeah, we shall see. Okay, so here we go. This is what the predictions. With the predictions game, what you do is if you get more of your answers correct than me, then your name goes on to a wall of fame for the week.
This could be you. This could be you. You can do this. Remember this old timey thing? You can do this after you beat him.
Well, and what we do is we put your name in a scroll at the bottom of the screen for an entire week. You get to see your name appear, and you can brag. Look, I beat Santa. Good for you, right? That's how the game is played.
Beat him with Star Wars.
At the end of the year, or end of the season, I should say, the season, we put together a season leaderboard so you can accumulate points through the season. And if you accumulate more points through the season than me, you get on the season leaderboard, and I'll gift you some Star Wars Santa merch. I will pay for the shipping, the purchasing, and all of it, and gift that to you for beating me on this season. So it's a fun game.
Address and he'll come over your house and eat the cookies and the milk.
Well, you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron. You don't have to do anything. You can just, Matt Risman, please, no hyperspace tunnels. Right. What we end up with is people like freeze framing and going frame by frame to see if you can actually see the tunnel, because you'll see the hyperspace. They're getting ready to jump into hyperspace, and then boom, it cuts off. And so what they do is then they just frame by frame, and they say, "Oh, look, there it was. Give me my point, Santa. I need my point."
They got you good. They got you good.
They do. It's great. Seth says a new Bad Batch promo just dropped. Okay. If anybody finds that, DM it to me on Patreon or on Discord.
Boy, meme counts through the roof.
Send it to me on Discord, and I will. Let me see. Hold on one second. I'm going to check the stream. Okay, no, just DM it to me on. It says it's on Discord. Okay, or it's on the Twitter. It's on the X. Let's see. Somebody put it in there. Do I have it yet?
I hope you're getting it rolled right now. That'd be so great if we could go back to like 19 what is it? No, it wasn't 90. It wasn't 90. 2007. Get you Rickrolled like 2007.
Now that you've said it, I trust nobody. Especially the Risman. I especially do not trust the Risman because
Matt Ray DeLay Risman.
He would Rickroll me in a heartbeat and be proud.
Gambling at the Ray DeLay Morongo Casino.
That's not what we want. We want the Star Wars on. I clicked the. Hold on. Let me try this again.
Matt said he sent it to you.
He did. He did. Here we go. The future of the galaxy is at stake. Let's see.
We shall usher in a new era.
Oh, let's replay it.
You hear me, Tarkin? You hear me, Tarkin?
We heard that line before. There's some. I saw echo. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for that, Matt Risman. So here we go.
Matt.
We go into the predictions, and there's 3 of them for this first week. You'll notice that, and the link for all 3 of these predictions forums is in the description of this video. If you're watching this after the fact, or you're here now and you'd like to see them, they're in the description of this video. They're also posted out on Discord, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. I've posted the links for all 3 of these. There's 3 different forms to fill out. If you want to get points for all, you got to do all 3. You'll notice that this one says season 3, episode 1. The next one says season 3, episode 2. The third one says season 3, episode 3. So make sure you fill out all 3 of them, not the first one 3 times or the second one. Each of them once. That's how it works. So even though they have the same questions, if you do the same one 3 times, you get credit for 1. You got to do them.
Don't try.
You got to do it. You got to do it the right way. So you put in the predictions. So
Matt Risman.
First, what name do you use so that we can give you your points? And then
I'm Chuff Chalepsky. That's my name on it.
Here's what Jason's talking about. It says someone will mention following orders, like good soldiers follow orders, or something of that sort. Does somebody say following orders or mention following orders in the first episode? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
because it's episode 1. We got to set up the tension and get all that going. I'm going to say yes on question 1.
Okay.
Someone will be killed, a non-droid. We're going to shoot a stormtrooper. It says it could be a generic trooper, a citizen, a pilot.
I'm calling it Omega right between the eyes. First episode.
No. But I do think that somebody will die because like I say here, if a piloted ship explodes, but you don't see the person or the pilot specifically dead, we assume that the pilot is dead. Right?
We never see pilots on flames torn asunder by the explosion of the Y-wing. They don't show it. So yeah, come on.
But
stick to convention.
They do sometimes show pilots floating in space quite dead. We saw that.
Revenge of the Sith. We saw it, right?
We saw it in the Clone Wars animated series too. They're just floating out there in space. Yeah, a droid will be referred to by name. It could be like Gonky. It could be Gonky. What's AZ?
Douglas.
Right? Well, there's AZ. That AZ1 has got a really long nomenclature, but he's the little droid that flies around. He's kind of friends with the batch. Okay. So if they say Gonky or AZ, something like that, they call a droid by name in the first episode. I'm going to say no. I'm not sure we're going to see if we're at Mount Tantus, for example, and we see Omega talking to Crosshair, they're not going to be real friendly with a droid that's just bobbling around. So I could be wrong. Maybe we'll be aboard the Havoc Marauder, and Gonky will run into him and say, "Hey, Gonky, watch where you're going." That kind of thing. I don't know, but I'm going to say no.
Right. Or hey, Gonky, give me some of that sweet power love. The power of love.
A ship will fire on another ship in atmosphere, in space. Doesn't matter. It counts. If a TIE fighter shoots on another TIE fighter, if an X-Wing TIE fighter Marauder gets fired upon by another vehicle, it counts. So a ship will fire on another. You say yes?
I say yes.
Matt Risman said, don't forget about AZ. I mentioned AZ. Yeah, I'm going to say no. We see Wayland, Mount Tantus. I think that's almost assured in episode 1.
Yeah, in episode 1.
Yeah, a bounty hunter shows up. We know bounty hunters are in the series. Right? We're going to see.
Is Ventress officially a bounty hunter in this, as we know? Have they confirmed that or not? I didn't ask. I don't remember.
I do not know that she's a bounty hunter in this.
Okay.
She may be a mercenary.
Okay.
There's a difference between a mercenary and a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah. Star Wars usually combines them, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Yeah. So I will say we do know Cad Bane, who is specifically a bounty hunter, and Fennec Shand are in the season. We don't know which episode, and I'm going to guess it's not episode 1.
Okay.
And if Asajj shows up, will she be a bounty hunter? Will she be an ally of the batch? Is she coming alongside them to help? We don't know, do we?
Or she's like, I find cloning disgusting. You guys are disgusting too.
Well, she says, what killing you is becoming more. I can't remember the quote, but it's sounding better all the time.
Yeah,
we don't know who she's talking to, right?
Right.
So we just don't know. Question 7: a named character from another show, movie, book, or comic appears. I said characters that count. Look here, Vader, Barriss Offee. Barriss, a lot of people like to speculate about her showing up. She never does, and I don't think she will. However, if you want to say, I think Barriss Offee is going to be in this episode, go ahead and say yes. Quinlan Voss, he would count because we know that Asajj is in at some point. Asajj and Quinlan have a relationship, and might he show up?Maybe not. But
are people just attracted to Barriss Offee? Like, I don't get the obsession. Like, it's kind of. I'm not saying she's a bad character, but she's far from interesting. I mean, in the big picture of things, but it's like I hear about her every week, and I'm like, is it just that people are like, I like brunette, I like brunettes too, so I'm with you. But I mean, is that what it's about? It's kind of like a head scratcher for me on her.
I think it's her story arc that her and Ahsoka kind of came alongside, and up through the ranks together.
She mean girled her though hard.
Did. And there was a whole hearing at the end, and they found her guilty of the thing, and they're like, well, we want more of her story arc. I think we have her story arc. I think put a pin in it. It's done. But maybe
Ahsoka could kick her butt for that. Maybe drag her by the hair and do a little bit of Jerry Springer on it. She'd have it coming. That'd be fair. I wouldn't fault her at all. On that one, yeah.
True.
Give her a good gut punch.
It says no points. And I specifically list out characters like Cad Bane, Fennec Shand, Asajj Ventress, Emperor Palpatine, and Tarkin. These are characters we know are established for this show.
Oh, okay.
So if a show...
So you're saying pre-confirmed characters, don't bother, it ain't going to work, is what you're saying?
They're not from another show, they're from this show. Right.
Yeah.
But if somebody from another show appears, then all points...
J-Bo Hood coming back. J-Bo Hood is going to marry, what's her name? And they're going to make a high M count and battle droid babies.
Battle droid babies. Yoda. Yoda would count, right? Blank slate, acolyte. Oh, he's still talking about the acolyte. But Yoda would count as an example. Someone will use the Force, an observable use of the Force. This would be things like a force push, force choke, force jump, force lightning.
I believe that Omega by the end of the season will use the Force.
Oh, I think you're wrong. I want you to be wrong. Let me put it that way. I don't want you to be right. I do not don't like that idea at all.
Remember this moment, boys.
What,
This moment.
bookmark it, but
40 minutes on this day of our Lord.
we shall see. Things that don't count: expert piloting, meditation, things like that. There has to be an overt, observable use of the Force. So I'm going to say no in episode 1. And it would count if a Jedi appears and they use the Force, right? So
That's fair.
Asajj Ventress, she's going to be in there. We know she can use the Force. If Asajj uses the Force, then you could get the point, right? A flashback scene could be a vision in a dream, could be a world between worlds, could be a memory shown on screen, could be a nightmare of a certain friend falling to his death, or is he dead? We don't know. That would count, right? Baymax says Tech didn't actually die. Omega caught him with the Force and floated him to safety, because why not? Why not? So, yeah, I do think we're going to have flashback memories of Tech falling, that fallback scene, and I'm going to say yes. That counts. 10, a species or droid talks in another language with subtitles to translate. If we see in-show on-screen subtitles, not using closed captioning, it's got to be like
Disney hates that for cartoons, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They should.
Every now and then they throw one in there.
They should. It's a bit condescending. I mean, in fact, I'd say it motivated me to learn how to read as a child because of subtitles in Star Wars movies more than it did the opposite. So, but hey, what do I know?
Arya, it says, did you guys see where the voice actress talked about season 3 having 2 different endings? One ending, Omega had this really bright future with the Star Wars, with the franchise. The other ending, not so much. It was more, she said, I think the term was melancholy. I got to look on Meg's server. Meg had it there.
Well, I am of the opinion that Omega is the key to Palpatine's grander plan, and we know the plan doesn't work. We know he's not a svelte 30-year-old clone when we get to him in episode 9. So I'm going to go with the happy ending, so to speak, being more appropriate for this one. Probably. That would be my guess.
Hey, my friend Bosk Bounty, Tim, how the heck are you, my friend?
Give us toys. Give us toys. I know he has toys. I know he has them.
Look, I'm telling you, there's some exciting things coming for the vintage collection fans. And Tim, Bosk Bounty is one of the best.
Whoa, roll it back. One of the best? The best.
Well, look,
the best.
I got it.
I want to hear it. I will not hear the slander about Bosk Bounty on this show today.
I have other friends that covered the space as well. I don't want to hurt any feelings, but I really like Tim's channel. Bosk Bounty's channel is great
today. Do better, other channels. Okay,
and
do better.
There are many of us in the vintage collection collector space who have the same dream, the same desires, the same wishes, and that's to get a vintage collection box release blurg.
My friend snaggled 2 set once, man.
my friend Bosk Bounty, Tim, he also wants a blurg, and he doesn't have one, and I desperately need one. And I do have a 3D printed one, and I think, Tim, didn't you get a 3D printed one, or was that only one Kenobi? Or Tim, one of you two got that. Yeah. Yakface says there's a big Black Series rumors dropping tomorrow. I am really, really excited about the potential of a blurg. And the reason we say it is because Yakface released it on his website that one of the future code names was going to be Mando and Blurg. And so we're looking forward to that. Tim says, I don't have one, but the word on the street is you may get your wish. Yes, it is. Yak Face said so. And, you know, when Yak Face says so, then you can take it to the bank. Well, most times. but
I don't care what anybody says. If Boss Bounty doesn't say it, I'm just standing by it, sticking by it.
Tim's great. I love the guy. His channel is great. Great show. So good to see you here, Tim.
Boss throwing his hands back. You cool with that, Boss Bounty? You think that's cool? You think that's weird? It's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. Strange.
We then have, so you got your 10 yes no questions.
Okay.
At the very end of the predictions, there's a bonus question, guess. And this is a tiered system now. We have a tiered system. The tiered system, you get
tiers,
0 points.
Meaning make it good or we don't care. We don't care if you're crying. That's the tier system. We think your tears are funny, losers. Do good. Be better.
Yeah, and I do mock people when they get it wrong. It's part of the fun. But
yeah. He did tell me, he did send me a message. He said all your guesses are stupid. And I just
yeah, I mean,
he doesn't do that.
I do say things like, you're a loser. You lost again. You're so wrong. You're wrong in your wrongness. Oh, it must be embarrassing to be so wrong.
Yeah. A learning disability. I'm like, hey, come on, man.
If I was a leaker and got this much wrong, I would be embarrassed. That's what I say. No.
He said leaker more like a peeker because I don't think you saw the whole thing. And I'm like, where did this come from, Santa? Why all this active hostility?
Tim asked Jason, please tell me the Acolyte's going to be good.
They believe so. I know people who have not. I don't know anybody who's. I don't think I know anybody who's seen it. The people who've seen lots of stuff from it, and it's the one. It's the one that everybody. That's the. Both Bespin and I have both heard that's the flagship show. That's the show. If you were to ask somebody at Lucasfilm, what's the next best Star Wars show that you know is coming out, that's the one that they would tell you. They wouldn't tell you what's the other one? Skeleton Crew. They'd be like they wouldn't say that one. They would say this one. So yeah, and if this one, honestly, if this one comes out and it just doesn't really make anybody happy, they got problems on the Star Wars Disney Plus side, because every single direction where we are pointing is towards the Mandoverse going to film and then exiting the stage and resting for who knows how long. And that Acolyte is likely to go and come up and then graduate to film and move on from there. That's what I would expect. That's not like a leak or a spoiler or anything like that. That's just where all of the directions seem to be pointing at this moment right now. Yeah. And they are happy. They are. I know that they are extremely happy with Acolyte.
Yeah. So. Just to bring up a couple of things as it relates to that, because you said if you were to ask them which show is they're most up on, it would be the Acolyte. Other shows that we know are sort of in the pipeline would be Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka season 2, and there's still a question, I think, with Ahsoka once the Mandoverse movie comes about, and if it pulls in the Ahsoka storyline into that movie, if that doesn't go with the Mandalorian as far as like on the other track.
I have a theory that on that Ahsoka season 2, I think it's going to be. I think it might be organized like the last season, where half of the season is let's just deal with whatever idea I got for what this is, and then the second half is going to be diverted towards what's going on in the movies. Moving into that like area. That's what I kind of think this is going to go. But that's what I think.
And Tim says, I'm hoping it's more Andor than Boba Fett. I think it's going to be different than all of the above. If you were to put it on par with any other, or like a comparison with any other Disney Plus live action show, what I've heard of the Acolyte is it's none of them. Because you've got Jedi, you've got lots of Force users. You got Sith, potentially. Right, there's an antagonist element to it that leads us down the road of thinking Sith.
But you got that mystery
fans.
thriller side that sort of does have a little bit of that kind of like feeling to it. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I don't think it's. I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be either. I think if Andor's 9:00 and Book of Boba Fett is 3:00, I think it's noon or 6, whatever you want to. If it's good, it's 6. It's noon. If it's bad, it's 6.
There you go.
It's going to be something like, I think, because it's going to have such fantasy elements in it that obviously there will require some suspension of disbelief. Whereas Andor doesn't really have you do that. It doesn't need to. It doesn't. There aren't the gods of the Greek gods aren't in that story like they are in this one, so to speak. So
and Spreezy has one rule of measure. He sees the white robes. He's like, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm done. That's good. That's all I need. Right? No, we just tease Spreezy because of that. But no, it's I'm really, really hoping well for it. Astromech Jeremy, my friend over in New York, says, to me, it seems like it's going to be more Games of Thrones-ish. I just don't know. It was from a vibe, what kind of vibe does it give you when you're watching it? Does it give you the gravitas of Andor? Does it give you like the silly foolishness of Book of Boba Fett? Or
we
does
haven't
it
seen
give you?
We've seen any lines being read from it yet. We've only seen like look at me, I'm Chewbacca, but I have a man bun and I teach yoga classes and I have many girlfriends. Like it's just, you know what I mean? And it looks neat, but yeah, it's so we'll have to see what the line delivery is like. Like when I was watching the Madam Web trailer for the very first time, I was actually sold on the movie up until that line. My mother was in the forest researching spiders or what, and you're just like, what? And then that's when you get like, oh, that was the tip off of what this movie really is going to be. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing a clip from it.
I was looking forward to going to see Madam Web. It's the one movie I was like, what can I go use my movie ticket points on? I'll go watch this movie.
I love 50 Shades of Grey. I love everything Dakota does. I'm going to go see it. That's what you said.
No. I was like, this looks like maybe it would be the next movie I could go to the theater and go see. And after seeing multiple reviews from multiple sources, thinking, not so much. I
don't know, man. Dakota and Sydney Sweeney, 10 out of 10, I say. Can't be that bad.
So no points on the bonus question if you give like episode run times.
Yeah,
it has to be about the show, right? So not anything not in the show. So you say this episode is longer than the last episode, or this episode is shorter than the last episode, or Santa's going to like this episode better than the other, or I'm going to like this episode less than the last. None of those count. No.
What if I said Wrecker goes full Mr. T? Well, and then he does go Mr. T. What would you give me on that?
So we'll get to that potential. A negative prediction. You can't say things like Luke Skywalker will not be in this episode. Right? Because you could say stuff like that about anybody. And
this cast has never been in my kitchen.
Or Rey will not be in this episode. Well, she's not even born yet, so you can't say things like that.
Oh, so Rey won't be born. Like, I'm going to say that Rey won't be born in this episode.
Right, you can't say that. Okay. Something will not happen, like a Jedi will not appear. We will not see Thrawn. We will not see the world between worlds. No points for those. We give 1 point for basically give me questions, obvious questions, like the Bad Batch will fire a weapon. We don't say if it's on stun or kill or who fires what, but somebody fires a weapon, 1 point. Okay. Hunter's going to be in the episode. Omega's going to be in the episode. Anything like that, 1 point. 1 point for those kind of things. You can see I just put a list. This is not to be an exhaustive list. It's simply to provide you some examples. And if you want to use something just to get your 1 point, there's no hate. There's no shame. You put Omega is going to be in this episode. You get 1 point. That's a point. It counts. So you could do that. 5 points. These are the ones where you actually go on a limb and you're thinking, oh, you also notice I put some things in here about trailer scenes or leaked scenes. Those things are in here. 5 points are awarded for specific defined guesses. So like a specific character isn't dead. You have to have confirmation. So like I put Barasafi. Barasafi isn't dead. Well, the only way you know that is if she shows up, right? So you'd be like, whoa, she's not dead. Or Tech. Right? Tech is not dead.
Prune face.
Like, yeah, we don't know that. We visit a specific planet not seen in a trailer. And I put, for example, Lothal. We don't have any reason to believe that the Bad Batch would go to Lothal. But if you kind of get the vibe that, hey, I think they might go to Lothal, you could say so. And maybe get 5 points.
Okay. What if Jabo Hood shows up? Do I get bonus points for that one? Because that would be a deep cut, and it really happened. If it really happened, what would I get for Jabo Hood? Would that just be a 5, or would I get a bonus?
5. No, that's 5. It is bonus. 5 is bonus.
A 5 bonus. Okay.
Yeah, 1 point is regular.
So that would be 6. So Jabo Hood would get me a 6, a sixer, a 6
no,
pack?
5.
I got
just
a 6-pack and nowhere to go. Come
just
on.
5. 5's the maximum. It says a specific character says a specific phrase. So this goes sort of what you were saying before.
Don't
Record
try it.
says like
5.
I like to blow things up. If you say that and Record does say that, then you get the 5 points. Right?
Yeah.
That is something he is likely to say, but that's a very specific prediction about a very specific phrase, right? From a very specific person, right?
What if I said they just keep rewriting Wrecker's line, but it only has one line and it's just a rewrite every time?
No,
okay.
That's a 0. So a specific scene, if you could say Omega visits Grogu in Mount Tantus, and it happens, 5 points. 5 points. That's how those work. So I need to put a prediction. Right, this is my bonus point. What prediction am I going to put in? Am I going to go for a 5-pointer? I'm just going to go for a 1-pointer. I think I'm going to go for an obvious that Omega visits Crosshair. Right? I'm just going to do that. Omega visits Crosshair.
Becomes child bride.
I'm going to go more generic than that. I'm going to say Omega talks to Crosshair.
And murders him in his cell, Epstein style.
No. So there you go. I have submitted my episode 1 predictions. Then once you have done that, then you can do your episode 2 predictions and your episode 3 predictions. We're not going to do those together. I'll put them in, later today. But that's what I want to kind of walk through what the process looks like, what you can do. Yes, Skywalker's Academy, Dale. That's a 1-pointer. That's a 1-pointer.
1 pointer.
Yeah. If I get that right,
we were clear. Skywalker's Academy. What's your problem, bro?
It is in the teaser. It is exactly. If it doesn't happen in episode 1, well, maybe I put because I don't know which episode it's going to be in. There's 2 more episodes. We don't know the order of the stuff we've seen and which episode they're from.
I heard if you Photoshop it in, though, he has to give you the point. That's what I heard. So you could just Photoshop whatever you want in, and then he has to give you the bonus points.
Wrong. I mean,
no. Okay. Sorry. No. Sorry. That was a rumor. It's not true.
If Rizman trolls me, you get no points. Yeah. Everybody gets 0 points if Rizman comes and trolls me. That's it.
I'm gonna do nothing compares to you, but no points for you.
You get 7 out of 10 right, and then Rizman shows up and he trolls me. You go to 0.
Right.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Everybody goes to 0, and Santa gets 11. No.
The raid delay dilly dally continues.
Yeah. Rizman shows up and he starts trolling. You guys got to take him out. I said,
too much Riz.
Now Matt is hilarious because he'll come to the watch parties and like somebody has earned a point and he'll make an argument why they shouldn't get the point. And he's not even playing the game. Like, he doesn't even do predictions.
What you want?
I know. He comes in and he just takes points away from people. I I don't know. He's like, makes these really good arguments. You're like, oh, you know what? I gave you a point, but Risman's talked me out of it. Nobody gets a point now. Right?
That's not in the Christmas spirit, Risman.
Yeah. So there you go. That's how you do the predictions game. It's a lot of fun. And what I do is during the watch party. So I don't do a live stream when the show drops.
Okay.
I'm old and I'm in bed. I go to bed. I go to sleep, and I don't do live stream during the.
Hey, when you sleep, do you have like one of those like Santa Claus hats, but it's like a striped pattern, like
No.
you know, like the Three Stooges would wear to bed?
Yeah, like a nightcap. No,
Yeah,
I don't have a nightcap.
You get
No,
a little Santa nightcap.
yeah, wouldn't that be fun? No, no. But I later in the day, once I kind of get up and get going, I'll do a live rewatch, and I kind of fell into doing it during the normal, like noon Eastern time frame. I'll get on and watch the episodes, and I do the prediction sheets during them. And you can, if you've already watched the episode, you can see, well, how am I doing on my predictions? Who's going to get points? Who's not going to get points? Who's Matt Risman going to take points away from?
Well, you know, Baymax says he thinks Matt is a Bith musician. So yeah, he's a Riz Whaler. I believe that is the appropriate term, is Riz Whaler.
Matt, I'm on the Empire's team. He is, yeah. That's
nah.
He says that. True.
He thinks he looks cool and like black, but nah, he's a good guy.
He is a moth. So you know it rings. We have a Mike Porter dad joke. Mike Porter, we love him, and he has daily dad jokes. But on Friday, Mike Porter is so generous that he tries to come up with Star Wars dad jokes, then provides them to us every week. And
we call him the chosen pun. He won't accept it. He says, "No, I'm just a man." But he is the chosen pun.
He is the chosen pun, and don't let anybody tell you different. Mike Porter, the chosen pun.
Okay, take that from a Matt Risman.
There is no other. It's only Mike Porter, the chosen pun. His dad joke. Oh, my screen's flickering. Just a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll be back.
What have you done?
What's the name of the coolest Jedi insect that got its wings torn off? Well, it's Luke Flywalker. It's a fly. He has no wings, so he walks. Luke Flywalker.
Man, Matt, I don't know, man. Sometimes you really get me. Sometimes you really lose me. And today, you lost me. But
love Mike Porter. I love Mike Porter. It's great. Yeah, it's great. So Dale says, I don't get it. Oh my goodness. It's great. Jason, anything else for the greater good? You got any story that you're dying to share, talk about?
Not that I could talk about. So
good answer.
I got something to tell you after the show, though. Something that everyone will want to hear as soon as we can talk about it.
There you go. So with that being said, all of you got to go.
Sorry, guys.
I
know that's rude.
So what's this? There's a statement that's about that. Like, you don't gotta. What is it? You don't have to go, but you got to get on out of here. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
There you go.
Yeah.
You all don't have to go home, but you all got to get out of here. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'm headed to the auto show tomorrow in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to go down to the auto show and look at the things to look at.
Is that like autoerotic asphyxiation? Like what kind of autos we're talking?
Automobiles.
Okay. Okay, cool. It sounds appropriate for Santa Claus.
The car show. We're going to go down to the car show down there. And
no auto bots.
We're going to see what they have. And then we get Monday off. Monday's a holiday here in the States. We get a 3-day weekend. Very much looking forward to that. Any plans for the 3-day weekend, Jason?
Nope. I'm not doing anything. I'm being lazy.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. All right. Yeah, Astro McJeremy says, get a new sleigh. I do have my eyes on one. I do have my eyes on a new sleigh.
It's a sleigh.
We're going to go down. We're going to check some things out, and then we'll see.
Has anybody ever made that pun? Is that like a tired one? Did I just do one that everybody's always done?
I ignored you. I don't know. What'd you say?
Princess Leia. Has that been said before? Because that's
I haven't seen it.
Okay, that's a good one. That's what you should name your sleigh, Princess Leia.
Very good. All right. Well, you all, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And until next time, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and may the force be with you always. Bye-bye.